Morning and welcome to the children's part of our service. My name is Becky.
I'm Maurice, hello.
And we're going to be sharing a story with you today. You've heard lots of brilliant stories over the last few weeks, but you might not have heard your favourite Bible story. So we asked Ted, our son, what his favourite story he would like to hear was, and he said it was Samson.
So today we're going to try and show you and tell you the story of Samson, but rather than us just doing it, which would be a bit rubbish, we're going to get our friends from the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in to act it out for you. A proper stage production, big budget, no expense spared, and probably Oscars and BAFTAs to follow. But we hope you enjoy the story of Samson. Here we go, we'll speak to you after.
A long time ago, far, far away, a baby was born.
No, not Jesus. A baby called Samson.
No, not Samsonite. Samson.
As Samson grew, God gave him some rules to follow, as he was going to save his people and be very important.
What were the rules then? Don't pour too much ketchup on your plate.
No.
Don't eat yellow snow.
No. Those are all good rules, but God's rules were stay pure by eating the right food and never cut your hair. Samson wasn't very good at keeping to the rules, but one thing he never did was he never cut his hair.
What, never?
No, it just grew and grew and grew.
Wow. I wonder what he did with hair that never stopped growing.
God wanted to use him and gave him power. Gave him superhuman strength to defeat God's enemies.
Wait, how strong? How strong was he really? Stronger than me?
Yeah.
Samson was so strong that he even wrestled a lion and killed it. He tore city gates off that he was locked behind and ran off with them. And he fought off an army of 1,000 soldiers with a bone.
A bone? Wow. This guy was so strong. I can see why God chose him.
Well, he had a very short temper. And he didn't choose the best of friends. One day he met a beautiful woman called Delilah. The Philistines used Delilah to try and find out the secret to Samson's strength. Delilah tried everything. Some wonderful food, lovely drinks, back massages, and finally he told her that the secret to his strength was because he never cut his hair. One night he was fast asleep, so Delilah cut off Samson's hair and handed him over to the Philistines. His strength was gone. He was then put in prison for the rest of his life.
Well, I can see why God didn't use him then. Because he kept breaking the rules. He kept messing up.
No, God still had a plan. Even though the Philistines made him blind and a prisoner, he asked God for one last chance to free his people from slavery. One day there was a big festival that the Philistines were having. They brought Samson out to show him off. The crowd mocked him.
Oh, you ain't so big to beat the lion now, are ya? Show us the gates of Gaza!
Samson saw his chance. A young boy moved his hands to the pillars of the building and he prayed to God for strength. He pushed and pushed and the building collapsed, defeating all the Philistines. God had kept his promise and had used Samson to protect his people.
And there you go, that was the story of Samson. We hope you enjoyed it. And remember, just as God gave Samson some rules to live by, God gives us some rules to live by as well. But listen, don't worry. If you break the rules, if you mess up, it doesn't mean that God doesn't love us, and it doesn't mean that God can't use us.
So next week, we would like to hear what your favourite Bible story is, and we'll try and tell it. So please can you send in a video message or a picture or some writing about what your favourite story is and why.
We can't necessarily tell all the stories, but we'll pick one each week for the next 4 weeks, and we'll get our friends to act it out and try and bring it to life as much as possible. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Ta-da!